Hi everyone, welcome to the lecture number 3 of week 11 of a Smart City course. In this lecture, we will see the case study about the Singapore. Singapore is an excellent example of integrated mobility. They have world-class public transport infrastructure and a car-lite vision. If we see some key matrices about the Singapore, they have around 200 plus kilometers of mass rapid transit. Their public transportation mode share is around 67%, and they want to improve this share to 75% by the year 2030. Let's try to understand the Singapore's car-lite vision. The car-lite vision means decrease the requirement of public cars and compensate them by providing a good quality public transport infrastructure. In order to ensure this vision, Singapore wants that 80% of the journey should be completed in the city within 45 minutes of time using the public transport infrastructure. They aims 20-minute time to travel to the town center and 45 minutes of time to travel to the citywide. To implement all this, they actually use a very good land use integration. They followed the transit-oriented development principles. That means the high-density development around the mass rapid transit stations or public transportation nodes. Also, they use the mixed-use planning, like home, offices, shops are within the walking distances. And also, they encourage the walkable communities, like they built a sheltered walkway which connects home to transit stations. The land use and transport integration is actually fundamental to achieve the car-lite visions which is being made by the Singapore, and the technology alone cannot overcome the poor urban planning. Let's try to understand the Singapore's public transport infrastructure. So mainly they have two types of public transport infrastructures. One is MRT, that is mass rapid transit, and second they have buses. Both these systems are well integrated with each other. In MRT network, they have 200 plus kilometers of MRT network, which is having 140 plus stations, and daily they carry around 3 plus millions of passengers. Their network includes 6 lanes which covers all the major residential and commercial areas. Their services are very highly reliable. They have around 99% plus reliability and the frequency of around 2 to 3 minutes during the peak hours. Also, they target an expansion from 200 km to 360 km by the year of 2030. That means every 8 homes out of 10 homes should be within the walking distance of 10 minutes. In bus networks, they have around 300 plus different bus routes, which takes around 4 million plus riders daily. These systems are well integrated. Their payment systems are integrated. That means same card will work in MRT, same cards will work in the bus. And because of this integration, they have developed the most comprehensive and reliable public transport system globally with seamless multimodal integration. Singapore is first in the world which started the electronic road pricing. That means the pricing for using the road. This started in 1975 and now Singapore have around 80 plus gantries. So let's see how this ERP works. So there is in-vehicle unit inside the vehicles which communicate with the overhead gantries and deduct the charge based on what is the consumption, what is the location, and what is the time. And there is around 80 gantries in the key business, central business district of the Singapore and the expressway entry points. Because of this electronic road pricing, the Singapore is able to reduce the 20% peak traffic congestion, and 15% average speed increase is also reported, and also they generated around 200 millions of revenue which is actually available for further transportation investment. Also, Singapore controls the vehicle ownership through their vehicle quota system. So in Singapore, if somebody wants to buy certain car, they will require a certificate of entitlement. And Singapore, because of implementation of this certificate of entitlement, the Singapore has capped their annual growth of vehicles to 0.25. Now let's see how this COE works. So in order to obtain this COE, the people needs to do the bidding. So they have auctions monthly, and each COE which is taken by the bidders is valid for 10 years. So because of this, the vehicle growth rate is very less in case of Singapore, and recently they have reduced it to 0% also for some categories. And because of this COE pricing, which could be between 30,000 to maybe sometime $1 lakh, depending upon what kind of what category of vehicle you are going for, and sometimes these costs is even higher than the cost of vehicle itself. Because of this extra costing, the vehicle ownership is discouraged, and Singapore is able to sustain the total population of vehicle to the same numbers. If we compare the international Singapore's vehicle population internationally, you can see in Singapore there is 150 cars per 1,000 population, whereas if you see the case of US or Europe, there is around 800 and 500 number of cars per 1,000 people respectively. Because of this vehicle quota system, Singapore has a stable vehicle population. There is a huge revenue generation of around $3 billion. Also, Singapore has improved their active transport infrastructure. They have around 500 plus kilometers of park connector roads, which are linking parks, their natural reserves, and residential areas for walking and cycling. They are aiming to increase the cycling path to 1,300 kilometers by year 2030. They also implemented the bike sharings through apps like AnyWheel or SG Bike, which can provide the first and last mile connectivity to the peoples. Also, they prioritize the pedestrian. They have developed the shelter walkways and also the pedestrian only zones in their central business district. If we compare the different modes, so in Singapore there are 22% people who walks to 10% by 2030, and their target is to increase this cycling to 10% by year 2030. Also, Singapore is leader in the future mobility in the autonomous vehicles. They have developed a global testbed for autonomous vehicle with designated zone and progressive regulations. They have started the autonomous bus trials. They have certain self-bus driving buses on public roads in certain areas. Also, they have started the robo-taxis in the pilot modes in certain business districts. Their target was to deploy these technologies by 2022. However, it is being delayed, but it is continuing in the correct direction. So currently, they have 3 autonomous vehicle test zones, and around 10 plus AV companies are participating in the pilot projects. Singapore has developed mobility as an integrated platform through their mytransport.sg app. MyTransport app, what is being developed by the Singapore, has a journey planner. That means a multimodal trip can be planned with real-time updates. Also, it has the real-time information. That means what will be the arrivals, what is the crowd level, what is the service disruptions. Also, the payment integration is there. That means the same payment way will work on any mode of transportation. If you see by usage, this app has around 1.5 million of downloads and have 4.5 stars rating. And this app is taken as one of the most comprehensive transport app globally, which sets the standard for mass integration. If we try to take out what key lesson we have learned from this example of Singapore, so first is the strong government commitment, long-term planning with 10 to 5 year horizons sustained across the political cycles. Also, the integrated land use planning, transit-oriented development principles ensures high density development around the transit nodes. Adequate funding should be available. There should be a political will for unpopular measures also, like Singapore has implemented the COE and ERP despite the public resistance. Also, the vision should be long term, like the concept plans what Singapore has taken is for the horizon of 40 to 50 years. And also the citizen trust. The high trust in the government enables implementation of restrictive but effective policies that deliver long-term benefit to the citizen. So that's it about this module. Thank you.